Alright, here's the next episode. Actually, I'm not going to make this as an episode because this isn't really related to the swap. But I'll have this in the other kind of folder related to just general Colorado stuff. So, as you can see, we have the rear dismantled. I was going to kind of do an instructional video of how to install this in case I start selling them, but it's pretty involved, so I would assume that anybody who's going to take it on themselves hopefully can at least be able to pull the carrier out of the rear end. I'm not re-gearing at the moment or touching the gears. I'll be putting them back exactly how they go. So if you're doing this, you have to pull the axles, pull the bolt through the thrust block to remove the pin. Then you can pull the C-clips off the axles so you can slide them out, pull the carrier out. Carrier's right here. And yeah, once you get that out, make sure when you pull them out, your race for your carrier bearings are labeled. You want to match those back up, and your shim stacks. There's my driver's side, there's my passenger side over there. Keeping those so that I could put it back exactly how it was. So real quick, I'll kind of go over what you'll do when you actually take this thing apart. So once you have the carrier out, you will have to remove the ring gear. It's kind of a bummer, but you got to do it to be able to get the carrier dismantled. So once you get the ring gear off, have all the bolts there, you'll be able to get to two, I believe they're T25s. So there are two T25s there and there. They're only accessible from where the ring gear faces. And once you take those off, you can separate this. You don't have to remove the bearing. But I will say, this is not easy to get off. There's nothing really to kind of grab onto it to be able to pull it off. But it is possible. I ended up putting a punch into the, let me see if I can get my fingers here. I was able to get a punch in the hole from the other side and use that to kind of pop it out. But once you pop it out, let me kind of reassemble this real fast, and then I'll kind of show you how we get to the thrust block. So we'll put the thrust block back in. This is the locker gear. It can only go in one way. Sorry, my hands are a little slippery here. Okay, so once you pop that off, this is what you'll be left with. You have your locker spring. This is what allows the locker to unlock, springs the gear back off. Then you have, this actually ends up being one of the kind of spider gears. There is a kind of bushing shim on there, so make sure you don't lose that. And at this point, you can actually pull the thrust block. I'm cleaning everything, so I'm pulling everything out to kind of clean up everything. And then you can kind of leave your spider gears in here. But that's pretty much it. So we're going to go back with the bronze one. But I figured I'd do a quick video here. Let's let's do pounds, ounces. So we're looking at 12.36 ounces for the bronze, 3.52. So we're adding, what, 3.5? Yeah. We're adding a little less than 9 ounces. Hopefully that's not a big difference to throw off a balance or anything. But we're going to give her a try. We're in this center line. So hopefully with that added weight being close to the center, we won't have an issue. And we'll kind of go from there. But I'm going to go ahead and button this thing back up. Get her back in the truck, get some new fluid in there, and we'll take her for a spin and see how she does. And I'll probably put that at the end of the video after I've driven this to give you a little update on how it drove and if it seems like this has made a difference. And then I plan on driving it for a little while. I do have a new locker ordered. It's back ordered since November. It's supposed to come mid-July. It's still May. So for now, I'm going to drive it with this in here, at least until then. And then probably when I get the locker, might open it back up and just kind of check things out. And we'll see how the bronze is doing. And we'll go from there. All right. Figured I'd show kind of an in-progress reinstallation. So we got the carrier back in. We got the bronze thrust block. Axles are back in. Running some kind of testing. Spider gears spinning. No, very, very little back and forth. So before, with the aluminum, with how worn out mine was, if I went back and forth like this, that thrust block was flapping and hitting off of the spider gears, which was increasing the wear. But as you could see here, very, very little back and forth. And with it sitting nice and tight, you know, back and forth with the axles, it's not clanking off the gears, and it does not hit any of the teeth. I think the aluminum one was starting to kind of clip the teeth on the edge. I'm not entirely sure, but this should hopefully give us some increased life. I didn't actually see any. I thought I had some significant wear on the spider gear teeth, but I pulled those out and those seemed to be fine. I think some of the fragments have kind of maybe doing some gear damage. I have another 410 rear gear set, so we'll see what happens when I run this for a little while and we do another check. But just wanted to kind of show that back together. Everything's torqued. E-locker wires are ran through. Just got to put the plug back on. And we'll get the cover back on, the brakes back on. We'll get this sucker full of fluid, and we'll take her out for a test drive and see if we feel any vibration. All right, I just want to show, now that we have that thrust block in, we get up to, we're doing about 60 here. And there's no added noise or or vibration from that thing being in there. So it seems to be doing well considering it's heavier than the aluminum one. And that weight isn't centralized. You know, it's kind of heavier on the one side. But I think with it being as close to the center line of the axle spin, that weight, increased weight, isn't really gonna affect it very much. I'm gonna see if I can get a little faster here. So yeah, we just got up to about 65, and yeah, she seems to be driving pretty much the same as she was before, so I think we can consider the weight issue closed as far as whether or not it's going to cause an issue. Seems to at least be doing well in that aspect. Probably, I've got about a couple hundred miles on that thrust block currently, and my intention is to drive it probably another couple weeks here. If you see my other video, I have a front diff leak, so I'm trying to kind of hold off on repairing that at the moment, at least for a couple weeks, to kind of get some miles on this thrust block. To replace the seal there, I think it's going to be way easier if I pull that front diff. I'm not sure if I want to try to do that with the diff in the truck. I may, though. I'm gonna kind of weigh that over the next week as I search to see if I have an extra seal. I believe I have an extra seal laying around, because I did buy a lot of extras. So if I find the seal, I'll see what happens. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of show that, and I'll kind of conclude this video for now, and I'll try to do another one that I'll list as, you know, kind of a thrust block part 2 of what it looks like when we open up the rear, and then we'll kind of go from there. So I'll catch you guys on that next episode.